If there's one experience not to be missed in all of Africa, it is gorilla trekking in the mountains of Rwanda. Bordering the Democratic Republic of Congo and Uganda, the 10,000-foot peaks of the extinct Virunga volcanoes provide a lush and very fragile home to about 700 mountain gorillas. This is the park, and these are the mountains inhabited by primatologist Dian Fossey, and popularized by the 1988 film Gorillas in the Mist. Fossey is buried here in the mountains, close to where she was murdered in 1985. She rests alongside her beloved gorilla Digit, who was killed by poachers a decade earlier. Gorilla trekking is not cheap, $500 per person per day, and there's great expectation when you arrive at park headquarters on the day of your hike.
These are all the drivers over here, and on the way driving over here, they've assessed our physical abilities somehow. And they meet and they sort of determine who goes in which gorilla group. And there's kind of a deal going on. It's backroom deal.
Eventually, you're assigned to a group and introduced to the gorillas you will meet. The average group of gorillas consists of a solo adult male silverback and his harem of girlfriends and bevy of offspring. The gorillas have grown accustomed to the presence of tourists, but visiting groups are strictly limited to 8 people, and you may spend exactly 1 hour a day with the gorillas. Each group of visitors is led by a park guide, an armed guard, and a tracker. Porters can be hired to carry your gear. The hikes vary from easy to very difficult, but the degree of difficulty does not in any way correlate to the quality of your experience with the gorillas. All hikes start on the muddy farmlands of the volcano and gradually proceed upwards into the denser jungle. The expectation grows as you realize you are involved in an elaborate game of hide-and-seek with King Kong. And suddenly you look up, and there he is. You'll be relieved to know that gorillas are strict vegetarians and subsist on a diet of jungle celery, eucalyptus sap, and other rainforest delicacies. The male silverback of this group weighed in at over 350 pounds and stood at more than 6 feet tall. It's also clear that if they wanted to, they could snap you in half without a second thought. It never failed to astonish me how close we could get to these troops of wild apes. Officially, you're restricted to keeping 20 feet away from the gorillas, but they don't seem to have heard of that rule, and the younger ones often approach much closer. In the gorilla world, everybody follows Grandpa, and when the male silverback was done eating and decided to move on, more than 30 gorillas went on the move with him. As they did, as if on cue, the fog began to roll in, and our guide signaled that an hour had passed, seemingly in only a matter of minutes. As the gorillas literally made their way out into the mist, something came over me that I won't soon forget. A deep appreciation, maybe, for the wonders of our Earth, and for the magic and mystery of a safari in East Africa.